Hey Booktube, welcome back. I'm Winx, and the ink I'm talking about today is the Winter Book Bath Box. I did a video like this for the Autumn box where I just went through all the items that I had picked out for the box and told you a little bit about why I picked them and what went into making the box a reality, and it was kind of a fun video to make and you all seem to enjoy it, so I'm going to keep this going and do the same thing now for the winter box. The theme for the winter box was fairies and history, and it was celebrating historical fantasy books, which I particularly like to read during the winter. I just think that historical fantasy and historical fiction is well suited to cold wintry months, so that's what I decided to go for. And as the title implies, this particular historical fantasy involved fairies, so went with that. And this was definitely a adventure to put this box together. I ran into a lot of hurdles, a lot of unexpected panic moments, and yes, it was a little bit stressful to get this one out the door, but it happened and I'm so glad it did. I'm just really pleased with how the box came together and the fact that it actually came together. So yes. As I did in the Autumn box, I'm just going to go through the items on the back of the card so they're in order and I can tell you how they fit together with the theme. Alright, to start, let's talk about the book. So the book that I picked out for this box is Midnight Never Come by Marie Brennan. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I love Marie Brennan and specifically the Memoirs of Lady Trent series that she writes. It involves dragon and this lady scientist who's just like shutting down the patriarchy that says that she can't be a scientist because she's a lady. It's awesome. It's also a first-person narrative, which I particularly like, but I'm not talking about that series, I'm talking about this one. So after I read Memoirs of Lady Trent, I was looking up more Marie Brennan books and I came across this one. So I was very excited and I picked it up and I really enjoyed reading it, and then I realized on Goodreads it did not actually have that many ratings, which is sort of what I use to pick out the books for my boxes. I just try to find something that doesn't have that many ratings on Goodreads, so it's a little bit lesser known and less likely that you already own it. So I decided that this would be a really fun book to base the box on. And before I go further, I will read you the little blurb about this book. England flourishes under the hand of its virgin queen, Elizabeth, Gloriana, last and most powerful of the Tudor monarchs. But a great light cast a great shadow. In hidden catacombs beneath London, a second queen holds court, Invidiana, ruler of fairy England, and a dark mirror to the glory above. A breathtaking novel of intrigue and betrayal set in Elizabethan England, Midnight Never Come seamlessly weaves together history and the fantastic to dazzling effect. So it sounds great, right? And I was so excited. I immediately started coming up with all these ideas of things that I could pair with it for the box, making plans, reaching out to different shops and artists and such, and it just was coming together beautifully. Then came the time to actually order things. As many of you know, I close orders for a box 1 month before I actually plan to send it out. That way I have enough time to gather everything and put the boxes together, because I am a single person company here, so a month is just about as much time as I need. So I closed the orders and went to order the book. I had found this book available on a bulk bookstore website and I went to place my order. It went through, and the next day I got an email telling me that this book is actually out of print and has no plans to be reprinted and they don't have any in stock and I'm very sorry, here's your refund. Panic. Just panic. So I had actually got a Kindle copy of this book originally for myself. I did not realize it was out of print. I had proceeded to base the entire box around this book, came up with this awesome combination of things that would just fit all of these aspects of the story itself, and the book was out of print. Luckily, we live in the age of the internet, and I was actually somehow able to find enough copies to make this box happen. I went to every place on the internet that I knew of. I went to places that I'd never heard of. I made orders from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay, Powell's, tons of other random bookstores I'd never heard of, places in Canada, places in the UK. Somehow this all happened, and I'm still amazed that I was able to find enough copies. I actually over-ordered because I predicted that I would get some copies that were not up to par, and I was correct. Some of the books that went out did have a little bit more shelfware than I would have liked, but they were still in pretty good condition, and those boxes that had more shelfware than I would like, I actually sent along some holiday chai tea just as a little extra gift to sort of make up for that. But I did get some books sent to me that were just in miserable condition and not in any way what they were described as on the seller's site. And I even was lucky enough to get a ARC copy, which, by the way, is not to be sold. I believe it says somewhere on the book that it's like illegal to, yeah, not for sale. You're not supposed to sell these. Somebody sold it to me. I did not send this one out, obviously. So yes, there was panic. I was getting orders sent in up until the very last minute. And then, just to make it a little bit more stressful, my apartment complex is currently in the midst of some sort of war with the United States Postal Service. I don't know the details. The little bits that I've gotten from either side conflict 100%, but it boils down to the fact that USPS is not delivering packages to our apartments. We have to go and pick them up at the post office, but for a while we actually were not aware that this was happening, so we did not realize that there were piles of packages waiting for us at the post office. I personally had 10 packages waiting for me, and as you can guess, there were 10 packages of books. So I actually picked up the 10 packages of the final books on Friday when I was shipping the boxes out on Saturday. So needless to say, I got no sleep that night. It was just a matter of putting all of the boxes together and wrapping up the final books and making sure they were all in good condition and shipping labels, blah blah blah. Luckily, my amazing friend Kelsey stayed over until 3:30 in the morning helping me put together the last of the boxes. So it did happen, but I was a mess. So yes, please treasure the books that you got because they were hard to get. Moving on from the book catastrophe, let's talk about something a bit more relaxing, like the bath product. For this box, I decided to send out a bubble bar because I had not done that yet, and who doesn't enjoy a bubble bath? And the bubble bar that I picked out is this one here, which is a Sugar Plum Fairy bubble bar made by Dust Bunny's Bubbles. And as you can see, it's got this nice pink and purple going on. It's very sparkly. Camera, there you go. Yes. Very nice, and it smells divine. It smells so good. I love it. I was of course forcing myself to try out several things from Etsy, and I was specifically looking for Sugar Plum Fairy scents because the box is about fairies and it's winter, so that just all made sense to me. But this one was just an instant win, so I was very excited to be able to put this one in the box. And now I will read you what I put on the card. The fairies in our book seem to prefer bread and wine over sugar plums, but don't let that keep you from enjoying this lovely bubble bar's sweet blend of plums, black cherries, and sweet citrus, with sandalwood and eucalyptus undertones. So now that we have the book and the bath product, we of course need a few extra items just to up the fanciness and make it the most epic book bath experience possible. And the first such item that I picked out is a tea from Harney & Sons. This is the Tower of London blend. So you see the tin is lovely. I absolutely love the little tins that they send out. They're so pretty. And this comes with 5 sachets in it. They're little silk triangle bags. The last 2 teas that I've sent out have been loose teas, but this one does come pre-packaged. And the little blurb that I wrote here is, named after a key location in the book, this blend is reminiscent of Elizabethan preserves, flavorful and tempting. Chinese black teas are stirred in with pieces of dried stone fruit, then the blend is finished with oil of bergamot and honey flavor. So I actually decided one day that I wanted to try a few of these little, they're called tag-alongs that Harney & Sons makes. So basically little like sample boxes. You can also get big tins of their teas, which I usually end up doing after I get a tag-along. And I wanted to try a few different blends. So I picked out about 3 or 4, including Tower of London, and I just absolutely loved it. It has sort of a plum flavor to it, which I haven't really had in a black tea before. I can't think of any other black tea I've had like that, but I love the combination. It's smooth and slightly sweet. It's like just enough sweetness, and yes, I just absolutely loved it. And as the card says, the Tower of London is a very key location in the book, so it fit in really, really well. It's actually the very first location in the book. We start the book in the Tower of London. So this was just too perfect to pass up. The next extra item I have is a candle, and this is called Home and Hearth by Copper and Craft. The tin is very, very cute. I love the label on it, and it smells so good. It's got sort of a cinnamon and vanilla kind of smell, very just cozy, wintry home and hearth. It's, yeah, I feel like the name is well suited. So two of our main characters and two of my favorite characters are the Goodmead sisters. As traditional brownie fairies, these household spirits live to make their guests cozy and content. This candle captures their homey energy perfectly. I love these two characters, and yeah, I mean, I basically just said it on the card, but they are just caretakers. They want everybody to feel good and happy and content and warm, and I just feel like this is a great representation of those characters, and also it just smells so good. I actually ordered myself a big one after I sent out the boxes because I need it. It's good. Then the final item in the box I was very, very excited about, and it is this bookmark. The image on the front is actually based off of the two main queen characters of the book. This is Elizabeth and this is Invidiana. The sword and the stone both actually play into the book, so you can look forward to that. And then on the back it's got this chalice and the I forget what it's called, but it's the orb thing that they hold at the coronation and stuff. And the little wine that's coming up, it's reminiscent of fairy wine, which is a thing in the book too, so it's just really perfect and fitting. And this was custom made by the amazing Nicole from Dorka Brain. She is a booktuber that you may be aware of, and if you are not, you should go and check her out, so I'll put her channel link down below. But she's also an amazing artist, and she has her own shop on Society 6 where you can buy prints and totes and all the cool things that you could ever want, so you should also check that out. I'll have a link to her store as well as the stores for all the other items down below, so you can check those out if you would care to. And this worked out really, really well. I actually happen to be friends with Nicole, and she suggested the idea of us working on a box at some point, and it was right when I was planning the winter box. And I was actually having a hard time with one particular thing. I really wanted to include something in the box that had more of a tie to Queen Elizabeth, and it's just kind of hard to find that. There's not a whole lot of like Queen Elizabeth candles and stuff out there. And yeah, so I was having a tough time with this, but I have actually seen some of Nicole's work where she drew like Elizabethan outfits and stuff, and it's really just suits her style really, really well. So it was such great timing that she mentioned this right when I was having this struggle. So we just messaged back and forth, and I told her what I was looking for, and she went off and came up with some really awesome ideas. And as a result, we have this bookmark. So I was very, very excited. I absolutely love how this turned out, and I feel like it just really brought the whole box together. So that is the winter Book Bath box. Like I said, it was a bit stressful between the book being unexpectedly out of print and the issue with getting packages and just down to the wire putting boxes together. Yes, but it came together, and I'm so glad, and everyone seems to be enjoying it from what I've seen of different unboxings and reviews, and yeah, I just couldn't be happier with it. So I am really pleased. I hope that you enjoyed it if you got a box, and I hope that you're going to enjoy the spring box if you decide to sign up. And my final note on Book Bath Box is actually a request. Those of you who have subscribed to the box through my website and not just gotten boxes through the Kickstarter, possibly not even gotten boxes through my shop, I'm not sure, but for sure those of you who have subscribed, you got an automatic email about 7 days later asking you how you would have rated the box, and you sent back feedback, and I've seen it and I love it and it's so great. I thought that that was all showing up on the Cratejoy marketplace for my box. I thought that if you're reviewing it, obviously you're reviewing it, but apparently That is not how it works, and I recently learned this. So I'm gonna have another link down below to where Book Bath Box is listed on the Cratejoy marketplace. If you have been subscribing through my website, you will be able to leave a review there, and I just ask that you do. Just give me a rating, give me a little blurb and a shout out if you'd like. I would love to just have a little bit of feedback on there where other people can see, so they know that maybe this box is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna put that link down below, and like I said, if you've been subscribing, please go and fill that out if you have a moment. I would love it, and I think that's all I have to say for the moment. So let me know down below if you guys got this box, or if you've read the book or tried any of the products, or if you're signing up for the spring box and are particularly excited about it. By the way, the theme for that one is diversity in space, and it's gonna be pretty amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. I hope you're all having a fantastic start to the week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!